The Alberta government has paused its ban on school library books with sexual content. An internal list obtained by the CBC last week contained more than 200 titles deemed sexually explicit. They were slated for removal from kindergarten to grade 12 schools in Edmonton by the end of this month. The CBC's Janet French joins us with the latest. And Janet, take us through what happened today.
Yeah, what we know is that the Alberta government has temporarily suspended its rules about keeping books out of schools and classrooms. We also heard from Premier Danielle Smith that a provincial order will still apply. They just need some time to change it. Education Minister Dimitrios Nikolaides created the rules in July in response to two interest groups who contacted the government saying that they had concerns about 4 novels that they found, graphic novels that they found in Edmonton and Calgary schools reportedly. What the government was going to do is refuse or disallow any descriptions of sex in writing or pictures in books that were in classrooms, and that was to come into effect by October 1st. But last week, Edmonton Public Schools sent their teachers a list of books that needed to be pulled off of shelves and out of classrooms. That list was more than 200 titles long, and it included some well-known books, including The Handmaid's Tale, Brave New World. And as you can imagine, this prompted some anger and frustration from the public and from civil liberties groups, from educators. And that list also surprised the Alberta government. And so this morning, the Education Minister, Dimitrios Nikolaides, reviewed and said, whoa, don't act on my rules yet, let's review.
And you mentioned the Premier, Danielle Smith, weighed in on this today. What did she say?
Yeah, at an unrelated event in southern Alberta, Alberta Premier Smith said that the pause might actually only last for a few hours. She said government officials were rewriting these rules to be clearer. And despite the current wording of the order, Smith said it was really graphic images that she was after with these rules. And she wanted schools to leave the classics alone. And she also pointed a finger at school boards. She said that there was a purposeful misrepresentation or misunderstanding of her policy. Edmonton Public Schools has not yet responded to her comments.
And there are groups pushing for certain books to be removed from the schools. How are they reacting?
Yeah, Action for Canada and Parents for Choice in Education were the two groups asking identified the books and asked them to remove them from schools. Parents for Choice in Education Director John Hilton O'Brien said the school board was actually trying to dodge its responsibility to protect students. Here's what he said.
Instead of removing graphic material, they pulled classic literature as a stunt. From where I sit, Alberta Education has just paused to clarify. It's like when a kid twists an adult's instructions. The adult doesn't back down, they restate them more clearly.
Now, nonprofit group Canadian School Libraries says if the Alberta government is intent on imposing some kind of limits on books in schools, they need to get professional educators and librarians involved in that process, and that rushing it is just going to cause more problems. They said Alberta has now become a cautionary tale for censorship for the rest of the country.
And just one last thing you said, I think that the Premier suggested that a revised ban may be ready within, 2 hours? But I guess it may take a little longer than that, right?
Yeah, we're hearing that that's probably not coming today. So we'll just have to keep an eye and see when that does land.
And we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Janet French in our CBC Edmonton newsroom. Thank you.
Welcome.